Hello everyone, this is Lalita Singh and you are going to study science with me in class 8. Today we are discussing our second chapter that is called microorganism. In this chapter you will learn about what is microorganism, about different groups of microorganism, how microorganisms are economically important for us, what are the benefit of microorganism, harmful effect of microorganism, how to do food preservation and what is nitrogen fixation. Okay, so let's start the discussion. Microorganism, as the name suggests, micro and organism. Micro means tiny, whereas organism means those individual which can perform all the life processes like respiration, reproduction, excretion, growth. Okay, so microorganisms are tiny living organisms which are not visible through naked eyes. Okay, we can only see them with the help of microscope. Microorganisms are also called microbes. Discovery of microorganism is closely related with the development of microscope because they are not visible for us through naked eyes. Okay, so to study about them, we need to see them, and to see them, we need microscope. Today, we are having electron microscope, which give us a clear view of entire structure of microorganism. Anton von Leeuwenhoek was the first one who has seen a living creature under the microscope, living microorganism, that was amoeba. Anton von Leeuwenhoek has seen an amoeba for the first time under the microscope from the rainwater. Louis Pasteur is also a well-known in microbiology because he discovered that microorganism is living in the air. Okay, microorganism can be found in the air was discovered by Louis Pasteur. The study of microorganism is called microbiology. Okay, now we will discuss about general characteristic of microorganism. Microorganisms are very tiny. They can be single cell or they can be a collection of undifferentiated cell like amoeba, like paramecium. They are single cell organism. Whereas if we talk about volvox, Ulithrix, they live in a group. The cells are actually living in the group. Even bacteria live in a group. But all the cells are responsible for their own work. There is no division of work in between the cell. For example, if we are seeing any other multicellular organism, all the work is done by specific organ, means work has been distributed. For example, circulation is taking place with the help of blood vessels and heart. If we talk about reproduction, we are having different kind of reproductive organ. Okay, for respiration we are having lungs and nasal passage, right? So in this way we are having different group of organs to perform different kind of function. But in case of microorganism, no, there is no differentiation between the cell. Okay, there is no division of labor between the cell, so that is why they are a collection of the group. When microorganisms live in colonies, they are called a group of undifferentiated cells. Okay, if we talk about where we can find microorganism, so you can find microorganism anywhere, everywhere microorganism is present. If we talk about water, soil, air, everywhere the microorganism is present. Even on the body surface and inside the body, they are present. If we look at a dead and decaying organism, then yes, we can find microorganism over there as well. Microorganism can be found anywhere. They can even survive in extreme climatical condition. Okay, they can exist in extreme climatical condition like drought, like in hot spring water. But every organism, when they are living in a certain climatical condition, they are adapted so that they can sustain, they can live over there very easily. Okay, so every microorganism are adapted according to the habitat in which they are living. So that is why we can found microorganism with different adaptation in different region. Understood? During unfavorable condition, if a particular microorganism face unfavorable condition, like if there is a drought when amoeba is present in the pond, okay, and the pond get dry up because of drought, then at that condition microorganism will secrete an outer hard covering that is called cyst. Okay, inside the cyst the microorganism stay over there until it meet favorable condition. When it meets to the favorable condition, the body of microorganism started to divide to produce tiny little microorganism, many numbers, and then after that, when it come in contact with a good climatical condition, it burst open and many tiny little microorganisms come out from the cyst. Okay, microorganisms may be autotrophic, they can be heterotrophic, they can be saprophytic, they can be parasitic. Microorganism does cause disease, that is why they are parasitic. They can also decompose the dead and decaying organic matter, so they are saprophytic. Some of the microorganisms can perform photosynthesis, they are called autotroph. Okay, so basically all kind of nutrition is found in microorganism. Some microorganisms are helpful to us in agricultural purposes, in food industry, but there are some microorganisms which can cause disease, that can even damage the prepared food. Okay, so they are harmful microorganisms. So we can say some of the microorganisms are friendly whereas some of them are harmful. Understood. Now about habitat of microorganism. Microorganisms are found particularly everywhere in all type of environment. They, okay, like air, they are present in the air, in soil. Various type of soil including desert, marshy land can have microorganism. Water, including hot spring, salty seawater, ice cool water, whatever kind of water you can imagine, every kind of water is having some of the microorganism developing over there. When the body of an organism become dead, then when the organism die, the body become dead and they started to decay because of the action of microorganism. So we can say that microorganism can be found on dead and decaying organic matter, as well as on the surface of the body of animal. You can see many ads on TV where Dettol or any other antiseptic soap used to show you your hand, okay, their hand which is full of microbes. So it can be found on the body surface, it can be present inside the body as well. Some microorganisms which grow on other organism while other exist freely. Okay, some of the microorganisms can depend upon other organism to survive, whereas some of them are free living, means they don't need a host to survive. Microorganism like amoeba can live alone. Okay, amoeba, paramecium, they can live alone, but if we are talking about fungus, bacteria, they basically live in colony. Okay, so now if we are talking about groups of microorganisms, so we are having 5 major groups of microorganisms. The first one is bacteria. You can see over here we are having some of the picture of bacteria. The next one is fungus, algae, and protozoa and viruses. These are the 5 group of microorganisms. About them we will discuss one by one. Okay, the first one is bacteria. See, these are the bacteria. See over here, this is a bacteria. This is the structure of bacteria, which lots of pili and flagella, which is showing its movement. Okay, so bacteria is a prokaryotic organism. Prokaryotic means the bacteria do not have a well-developed nucleus. Okay, well-developed surrounded nucleus is not present in case of bacteria. Only a circular DNA is present as a hereditary material. Hereditary material means the DNA or RNA which transfer the characters from one generation to another one. Okay, of all the microorganisms, bacteria are the most abundant and they are simplest of all living organisms. That is why they are prokaryotic. Okay, prokaryote means absence of true nucleus. What is true nucleus? A genetic material, when it is surrounded by a membranous structure, it is called true nucleus, and this nucleus is absent in case of bacteria. You can see the genetic material is present over here like a thread like structure, and it is floating in the cytoplasm of the bacterial cell. Okay, there is no membrane bounded on the nucleic material or genetic material. This is the genetic material. Understood? So this is the shape of inside structure of bacteria. Now see over here. Where can be found bacteria? So bacteria is found almost everywhere. Whatever the area you are imagining, bacteria can be found over there. It can be present in air, water, soil, any food product that you are having on inside your body, outside your body, everywhere it is present. The size of bacteria varies from zero point 0.2 micron to 100 micron. Okay, the size of bacteria varies from 0.2 micron to 100 micron. Now what is micron? Micron is a unit to measure the length. As we know that microorganism very tiny, we cannot use other units like centimeter or millimeter. So we are having a different type of unit over here that is called micron, and the value of micron is 1 micron is equal to 1000 of millimeter. Okay, 1 micron is equal to 1000 of millimeter. Means in 1 micron, in 1 millimeter we can have 1000 bacteria of 1 micron. Understood? In 1 millimeter distance we can have 1000 bacteria, which is of size of 1 micron. Now shape. The shape of bacteria varies greatly. On the basis of shape, they can be Koki, Bacillus, Spirilla, and Vibrio. See over here. These are the circular shaped bacteria. These are called Kokis. This is the Bacillus. See, these are rod-like structure. Okay, the rod-like structure of bacteria are known as Bacillus. This is the Spirilla. They are like spirals. This is called Spirilla. And what about Vibrio? Vibrio is slightly bent. Okay, Vibrio is slightly bent. This is Vibrio. It is slightly bent, right? Bacteria can live separately and they can live in the form of colony. Okay, if the colonies are in ball shaped structure, then it is called Staphylococci. If the bacteria is of coccus in nature, means they are circular in shape. Okay, so they are called cocci. Okay, so if they are living in a ball shaped group like structure, it is called Staphylococci. If they are as a long chain structure, it is called Streptococci. Okay, if only two bacteria are living together in a colony, then it will call Diplococci. Diplo means two. Okay, so this is how the bacteria live in colony. Next is aerobic and anaerobic bacteria. Actually, bacteria can perform respiration in both way, aerobic as well as anaerobic. So we can say that bacteria are aerobic as well as anaerobic. The bacteria need, some aerobic bacteria need oxygen to break down the nutrient material and to produce energy, whereas anaerobic bacteria does not require the presence of oxygen. If we talk about nutrition, so some of the bacteria are autotrophic in nature. They prepare their own food by chemicals, and okay, they prepared their own food by chemicals by breaking the bond between the chemicals, and this mode of nutrition is called chemosynthesis. Okay, a process which is very similar to the photosynthesis, means they do not depend on other organism, but they are just breaking the chemical bond, and that is why they are called chemosynthetic bacteria. Okay, next is they are saprophytic in nature because they decompose the dead and decaying organic matter. It is also parasitic. It is also having parasitic mode of nutrition because bacterial infection may cause disease in individuals. So altogether nutrition in bacteria is of autotrophic, saprophytic and parasitic. Alright, reproduction. Next is reproduction. Bacteria reproduce by binary fission in this way. First, the bacteria become big in size, and then their nucleoid or circular DNA split into two like this. Okay, it is splitting of DNA into two groups. See, that splitting of DNA has been completed over here, and after the formation of two genomic material, two different circular DNA, the cytoplasm will get separated as well by constriction of cytoplasmic membrane or plasma membrane, and later on by becoming bigger. The constriction when become bigger, the bacteria split into two and form two different bacteria from one parent. Okay, so this is called binary fission. In binary fission, the parent get divided into two equal part. First the nucleic material divide, and then it is followed by the division of cytoplasm by constriction, by formation of constriction in plasma membrane. Many bacteria divide very fast. For example, Escherichia coli, E. coli, divide every 20 minutes, whereas Pseudomonas is a fast dividing bacteria. It takes only 9.5 minutes to divide. Just think how many generations get passed when you are sitting in the classroom to attend the classroom. Alright, next is fungus. These are some pictures of fungus. See over here, very well known structure. It is called mushroom, that we have eaten plenty of time. Sponge, fungi, yeast and penicillium. These are all fungus. Fungus are non-green plant-like structure. They are non-green because they lack chlorophyll. They do not have chlorophyll. That is why they are non-green plant-like structure. Even they are plant-like structure, but they are not having leaves, roots, stem, fruit, flower, just like plant. They are not having these all. Okay, they are plant-like structure. Their cell is having cell wall. Fungus like yeast are unicellular, whereas some other fungus are multicellular. Like mushroom is what? A multicellular organism. Okay, mushroom, penicillium, toadstool, sponges, these are all multicellular organism. Now if we talk about mode of nutrition in fungus, basically the fungus grow on dead and decaying plant and animal matter. Okay, fungus grow on dead and decaying plant and animal matter, which make it saprophagous. But there are some species of fungus which can also cause disease. Maybe you have heard about black lung disease. Okay, recently in news. So we can say they are also parasitic in nature. The mode of nutrition in fungus is parasitic or saprophytic. Saprophytic as they are decomposing the dead and decaying matter. Parasitic because they causes disease like skin infection, foot and mouth disease, etc. Reproduction in fungus take place by the formation of spore, and this is a asexual mode of reproduction. In yeast, budding may take place. Okay, in case of yeast, budding take place, and that is why budding is also a form of mode of nutrition, but both of them are asexual mode of reproduction. So this is the case of budding in yeast. Over here it is the single yeast cell which now show the bud formation, and now the bud is kind of becoming detached with the parent yeast cell, and this way lots of yeast cells are formed from one yeast cell. Okay, now see over here, this is the spore formation. Okay, this is these transverse lines are called hyphae. This is the aerial hyphae. At the top of this, sporangium has been developed, inside which the spores, after getting mature, they burst open and the spores come out in the air. By means of air, it spread from one place to another. As spores are very lighter in weight, they can easily travel with the air. We will discuss activity number 1, which is to demonstrate that air contains spores of bacteria and fungus. Okay, to perform this activity, we need a petri dish, agar gel, sugar solution, and a microscope to see the view. Procedure of this activity is to take a petri dish, put some agar gel in it. You can see there is agar gel in the petri dish. This is petri dish and we have put some amount of agar gel in it. Okay, now we will pour some amount of sugar solution in it, this cup agar gel, and we will leave it in dark corner of a room for few days. After few days, we will see some spot on the agar gel like this. Okay, these are the spots
which is developed due to development of fungus and bacteria. These spots are actually colonies of bacteria and fungus. So we can say that air does contain spores, because previously we have just added agar gel and sugar solution in it, but we haven't added the spores. Okay, but the spores were floating in the air. As they are lighter in weight, they get settled down when they are having a favorable condition. They develop rapidly in few days, and this result, their development result into this. Okay, now next is algae. Algae are simple, unicellular or multicellular green plant-like structure, but still, even though they are plant-like structure, because they can perform photosynthesis as they are having chlorophyll, but they lacks all other structures of the plant. They are not having leaf, they are not having stem, neither they are having roots, not flower, neither fruits. Okay, it means algae do not possess any characters of plant except the presence of chlorophyll. They are having chlorophyll and they can synthesize their own food, right? You can see over here, this is what algae look like when it grow on the surface of water. It is a slippery mass floating on the surface of stagnant water. Okay, algae actually live in water, hence they are called grasses of water. You can see they are present on top of the water. They are also refers to grass of water. They are found in pond, lake, sea, ocean, anywhere where there is water you can find algae. Some algae grow on moist soil as well, and some of them are growing on the moist rock surface. But moisture is needed for their growth. Otherwise, they will not grow at a dry places. Whenever they grow, they are slippery in nature. So it make the surface slippery where they get grown. Pigments. If we are talking about pigments, as you can see, these are of green color. In addition to these green color pigment, they are having other pigments as well, which can provide them red color or brown color. Okay, they are of brown and red color algae. Based on the pigments, they can be called green algae like Clytomonas, Volvox, Pyrogara, Ulithrix, etc. Beside the green one, there is red algae as well, like Glidium, Polysiphonia. Then brown algae like Sargassum and Fucus. This is the brown algae. This is the red algae. Okay. Now after the pigments, we can talk about their nutrition, how they are getting nutrition. As we know that they are having photosynthetic pigment, so they perform photosynthesis, and so hence they are autotrophic in nature. Next is protozoa. You can see this is paramecium, this is amoeba, these are the euglena. These all are members of protozoa. Protozoa is basically a single cellular organism. Most of the protozoans live solitary life, but some of them are living in colonies as well. Amoeba, paramecium, euglena, entamoeba, plasmodium, they all are protozoans. Protozoans are the first member of animal kingdom. Okay, protozoans are the first member of animal kingdom. Most protozoan are singly, but they are having a locomotory organ. Okay, they can move from one place to another by the use of these locomotory organ like cilia or flagella. See over here, this is the flagella, locomotory organ of euglena, whereas these small hair-like structures are called cilia. In case of amoeba, they are having pseudopodia to move from one place to another. One thing which made it separate from other microorganisms that we have studied about, that it lack cell wall. It does not possess a cell wall. If we talk about nutrition, mode of nutrition, they are holozoic in nutrition. Some of them are also, some of the protozoan may cause disease, that is why they are parasitic as well. So basically protozoans are either holozoic or they are parasitic. Clear? In nature. Next is viruses. You can see this is tobacco mosaic virus, this is bacteriophage virus, and this is HIV virus. All viruses are acellular structure. Acellular means it does not have cellular mechanism, it does not have cellular structure. So that is why they are called acellular. They are smallest and most simplest microorganism. Their body is composed of basically two things. The first thing is protein capsid, and the second is their genetic material. The DNA or RNA molecule present in the protein code is the genetic material, and the protein code is one which protect the genetic material. Okay, viruses remain inactive when they are leaving outside the when they are present outside of the living cell, but once they enter into the host cell, they become active and they started to reproduce. As they are acting as a non-living thing when they are present outside the host cell, they are acting as a living when they are present in the host cell. So these are named as connecting link between the living and non-living. Understood? These viruses can only multiply when they are present in the host cell, because they are using the cellular mechanism of the host cell to making the copy of the DNA. They cannot duplicate their own DNA on their own. That is why they need a host, so that they can duplicate the DNA. They can make several copies of DNA to produce different amount of viruses. Okay.
Next is economical importance of microorganism. About that we will study in our next video. Until then, have a nice day everyone.